Hey, this is Chris Gethard, and you're listening to Is That Your Kid? You better buckle up, man, because Todd and Jake, they're about to take you on a real ride.
Welcome to episode 13 of Is That Your Kid podcast with Jake, the Angel Boy, the Wake and Bake, the Rake. Is there any more?
Birdman Jr.
Jr. Birdman Jr. Because Little Wayne is Birdman Jr.'s, right?
Is That Your Kid? Episode 13 coming at you. We have a special episode for you today.
We have a very special episode. Thank you, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, for hitting that download button.
Shukran, as Todd would say in episode 11.
Shukran. Shukran for all of our Arabic-speaking friends. We have, a little bit later on, Alex Messenger Bag Clute on the show. He Skyped in with us, and we talked about improv. We talked about his run with the Chris Gethard Show. We also talked about some favorite albums, some musical influences, and we played a game. And not to spoil it, but the game, somebody has to throw up next week. Is really.
And stay tuned. It's a great interview. Just a shout out to Alex for coming on and being a part of Is That Your Kid today.
We're also here with Mike in the background. Our friend Mike. He's from the bed. He may chime in eventually.
He is getting real meta right now because he's recording us.
Is he?
Super meta, yeah.
Very cool.
He's
Very
like
cool.
Abed.
That's fantastic. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for being here.
Me too. And he's got pants on and everything. I'm proud of that.
He didn't have pants on for a while, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know.
Well, he does now. Full-fledged.
Todd, our friend Mike doesn't get cold or doesn't get hot because he was under the blankets and it's easily 75 degrees today and he was under a whole blanket. But he's here with us today.
We slept next to each other under the same blanket with shorts on and no top.
Cool.
Last night.
Cool.
It was pretty sick.
This is a great intro.
It's a great intro. Well, stick around for the interview. That's the real meat and potatoes. But we do have a few emails, actually. Well, actually, a good many emails that came through. And I'm just going to kind of sum them up here. But I want to particularly point out Jake's dad's emails because I always like to read those because those are my favorite.
I don't even know he does this. He like wakes up at 5 a.m. and just does this.
So it says, "Hi guys, I need to say that Mike the Destroyer was awesome and good stuff. And by the way, that's not the first time we heard that. Mike the Destroyer was on episode 10.2 talking about Jake's wrestling gimmick. Mike the Destroyer, if you're listening, we've had a couple direct messages and also some emails saying they really like you.
Very articulate young man.
Very articulate. So I need to say that Mike the Destroyer was awesome, good stuff. Dingle Arm, ? Refridge Photographer, ? I'm a Star Wars fan. Like that segment as well. Like to see the New Order. Your brother in Christ, Keith. P.S. I'm interested in a disc to add to my collection and a t-shirt."
He's referring to a flying disc, which is a frisbee.
Which is the Zerme professional way of saying frisbee. A flying disc.
We do love frisbee golf. Or disc golf, as my dad would say.
Yes, disc golf. So
Shenley Park, this is a shout out to my dad. You're going down this summer. I plan on stomping you at Shenley every time. Okay.
I got a text from my dad because my dad texts now this morning.
Yeah, do you guys play any sports together?
We end up literally fighting one another if we do.
That's a sport.
Like he taught me what I know about basketball.
Yeah.
And still to this day, if we play basketball, we basically will get so angry at one another that we will fight one another. We will fight one another. He had texted me this morning. It just said, hold on, let me bring up the exact text. So, hold on.
This is Todd's dad, who has lifted Todd into a swimming pool.
And I pissed all over him.
And he peed all over his hand.
It said, "Call me about your taxes ASAP." So I called him, and he let me know this morning that our taxes are messed up because we have the same name.
Same name, which goes back to you trying to change your middle name.
Yeah.
From Gregory
to
William.
William, that's correct.
See, I listen sometimes.
You do pay attention. So our taxes were all screwed up, and he wanted me to, like, he was just like, well, what do you want me to do about it? Like, he had that, and I was just like, well, I already filed my taxes. And he was
as you
like,
should, because it's May.
Right. Which I guess he's getting around to it. So he filed his taxes, and they were filed incorrectly because I am on his taxes. So he actually he went on record to say that there is a $2 refund check for me at his house.
Sweet.
So I'm going to pick that up. Speaking of money, I actually found this quick short story, $20 yesterday in Monroeville Mall parking lot when I was with Mike.
That's a great find.
So
Did you happen to find Mike's gas cap that was stolen?
Nope. I mean, I guess I could have bought a gas cap with that money. But
I
bought a bottle of Tito's vodka. Tito's vodka, always going down smooth.
Is that there? Is that Keystone's logo? Anyway, Mike, who's here with us, loves Tito's vodka.
He is here, I promise.
He is.
Is there 2 bottles of Tito's here?
There's 1 bottle of Tito's.
Okay. I thought this was Tito's.
A well done bottle of Tito's. It's halfway capped off.
Throw some. Showcase your improv skills. Yeah, please. Get some of that in the mic. I love this part.
That's good.
It's my favorite part of the show. Just throw some ideas out there. So, Tito's, go down smooth.
Tito's, handmade vodka, made by hands. Tito's, handmade vodka, award-winning, distilled 6 times, crafted in an old-fashioned pot still. Tito's, handmade vodka, from the cellars of Austin, Texas, to the cellar of your stomach.
He's reading the label. I mean, just keep going until you literally have nothing.
Tito's handmade vodka, unanimous double gold medal winner, could be in your hands.
I love how these have a comma and then like something else, like still.
Tito's handmade vodka, 5th generation Austin, Texas, homegrown for your home.
Hard M. But to get back to the emails, yeah, thank you guys for the emails and reaching out. And also Lex, who changes his Twitter name every week at this point, so I'm not going to keep updating with
Lex loves Tito's vodka.
He loves it, and he also found you in the episode, speaking of the Chris Gethard Show, because we have someone on from the Gethard Show today. He found you in episode 99. You call in his pine cone.
I call in his pine cone. And I make fun of Chris Gethard's fingers.
Yeah.
It not make fun. He flipped the script on me.
Yeah.
It was... I just think Chris Gethard's fingers bend a little strangely. Not against him. I met Chris. He's a great guy. I love him dearly. But the first time seeing Chris, his fingers were very weird. They bend right at the first knuckle, like in the hand, nowhere else.
Also, late happy birthday to you, because he does listen occasionally.
Yeah, happy birthday to Chris. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, sorry about that. I do like him, but those fingers, man.
Well, that kind of brings up, how did you get your name Pinecone? Like, what is that? I think Mike wants to know.
It's like an internet handle. I mean, everyone's got their internet handle.
Right, but
Todd, just Todd Tondera, that's his handle for every single thing he's ever registered for. Mm-hmm. One word, Todd Tondera. You try to think of something that no one else has got. I've never seen another Pinecone.
Mm-mm.
Have you?
No, but where is it? Like, what is it?
Why not? It could be anything.
Right, but why the Pinecone? Why?
Because I thought it was original at the time.
No, it still is. There's not another Pinecone.
Well, then there's not a reason other than that.
All right, we'll leave it at that then.
Not because I like them more than any other thing, but just because.
But do you like them more than some things?
Probably. Maybe better than getting hurt.
Yes.
I like pine cones better than injuries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I think we should go ahead and throw it over to our boy Alex here, who's going to come in from New York. Again, this is Alex Clute. You may know him as Messenger Bag, or you may know him as Alex. This is That Your Kid podcast with Todd and also Jake. Jake, how are you doing today?
High energy.
High energy today.
I had a lot of sun.
A lot of sun. He actually walked into my house this morning, and he said that he is part Superman and part, what, Birdman?
Birdman. They both like the sun, don't they?
I I guess. So, we are actually here with a special guest today, Mr. Alex Clute. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, and thanks again for being a part of this. I know that you, right before we went to record here, that you had questions of Jake being low energy and high energy. Do you trust his commitment to this podcast today?
He seems pretty high energy. I gotta give it up to him today. He seems, ready to play.
I feel confident having your vote of confidence. I'm ready.
Oh, thank
Definitely
you. That's
ready.
very sweet of you.
Okay. For those of you, first-time listeners here, and Jake is actually flexing right now. This is That Your Kid podcast. We are nerds from Western Pennsylvania. We host a variety show. I've went on record to say it's like Seinfeld, only worse. What was the other one that I always say that I never remember I say it?
You said Seinfeld, but not as good.
Not as good. You're right.
So either one of those, definitely not as good as Seinfeld.
So when you think Seinfeld, think at least 10 steps below this. But with your presence, Alex, hopefully it's a lot better than usual.
I'll do my best.
Maybe we'll bump
young
up to
man.
like King of Queens sitcom status, maybe. Not quite as good as Seinfeld, maybe.
King of Queens.
It's New York City. That's where I went with it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're from New York City, is that correct? Living in New York City right now?
Totally incorrect. Do your research. I'm from the Bay Area, California.
I know that, but you live in New York.
Oh, yeah. I'm currently in New York City. That's totally 100 correct. I take it back. You nailed that.
Yeah, I actually have a text edit file on you right here, and it just says mess bag is what I saved it as. and I put, it says my first line on here, it says originally from California, question mark.
All right. Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I assumed you were from New York City because of I guess the Gethard Show. But so you're from California. When did you move?
I moved out here. I'm coming up on 3 years in September. I moved out in 2011, right around the time that Gethard Show was switching over to public access. But of course, I had no idea that was going on.
Right.
But yeah, I moved out here originally to play music and maybe go to school, and then all this crazy bullshit happened.
That's cool. Well, we actually have a friend that just moved out there as well. Our friend Ryan just moved to New York. Do you know where? Where did he move to?
Yeah, we have a friend of ours, Ryan. He lived down here with us. We went to... Jake and I know each other from high school. And
That's cool.
Our friend Ryan, actually, he lived down here with us, and then he recently moved to New York City. I think he lives in the Upper West Side, whatever that means. You may know what that means.
I know what that means, yeah. And depending on what that means, your friend is very rich.
Well, he was
on...
crashing on someone's couch, so maybe?
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't know. Everybody's got some sort of weird circumstance here. Like, I know kids that, like, live in really rich parts of the city, but otherwise, like, really shouldn't be able to. I'm not sure how they're pulling it off. But that's cool. That's awesome for that guy.
Yeah, he was... I don't know I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks, but he, like, wanted to go to New York City to pursue theater. And,
Ooh, cool.
And he's had some theater experience here, and then he went to New York. And the last I heard, he was staying on somebody's couch in the Upper West Side. So
Perfect.
I don't know if he has a bed or what's going on, but...
Probably not.
You know what? I think he just upgraded to his own bed.
He has his own bed, so...
Nice. Well, that's a big step. That's a big step in your New York career, is finally getting that bed.
I could sleep by myself.
So, Alex, you said you moved out to New York for school originally?
Yeah, I sort of told everyone school, because when you're like a slacker that wants to move cross country for no reason, like, you gotta give people a reason or they're just not gonna let you do it.
That's so true.
So I was like, yeah, there's like this Sonic Arts program at CCNY that I'm really interested in. And that's true, I was interested in it, but I also knew in the back of my mind that, like, New York's an expensive city, and the prospect of, like, going and doing school full-time and paying my way, like, it just wasn't going to happen. So I basically told everyone, yeah, I'm going for school, but really I was just going to go, because it's New York, and I wasn't doing anything anyways. And it worked. Nice.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's just like I actually, not that I live there, but I actually did a bit of traveling myself. I spent some time in California, in Texas,
Nice.
in Florida a little bit too, but Florida was more just like a vacation more than anything. And so you said 3 years ago you were from Sunnyvale, is that correct? Did I get that right?
Yeah, that is correct. Where did you pick up that info?
Bro, see, when you thought I didn't do my research, check it out.
Turns out he did a creepy amount of research, and he knows exactly where you're from.
More research than maybe I should have. But Sunnyvale, California.
Yeah, he's got your address too, but he's just not saying it.
No, I don't have your address.
Todd, what's my blood type?
Well, that is.
Let's make it a game. A-B.
It's not A. You're not.
Trick question. I don't know my blood type.
I thought you were gonna say you don't have blood.
Off podcast, I'll tell you your blood type. We'll keep it between us, though.
Cool.
Okay. So you came over from California to New York, and you got involved with the Chris Gethard Show, and you were a random there, right?
Yes, I was. I was the random for almost 6 months, I guess.
Which is longer than normal randoms, am I right? That's
Yeah.
Random material. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Based on Betrayal, I managed to up my 15 weeks to 30 weeks, so nailed it.
I was actually there for that said Betrayal. I don't know if you remember the episode I was there for, but that was the episode, the pre-episode. That's when I met you, and I saw that live in person.
That's awesome. I do remember hanging out with you at the bar afterwards, but I didn't remember that it was that particular episode.
Yeah.
Pretty magical.
No, you don't go by Alex on the show. You're actually referred to as Messenger Bag.
That's correct.
Messenger bag. And that's because you tote a messenger bag as well.
Yes. As the lore goes, I was dancing around on screen, but I didn't know anybody, so I didn't put my bag down. I just kept it on. And little did I know that would become a namesake for me for the rest of forever. So, yeah.
And
choose wisely.
Yes.
Choose wisely.
And then you had to bring it to every episode you were on because your messenger bag.
Yeah, when they asked me to be on the show, JD literally said, if you show up without the bag, we're not letting you in the studio.
And now that you're performing now that your time as a random has taken its course and you are noted as the people's champion, so you're now with the LLC. Now being as that you're a musician, how was that transition into being a full-time member of the LLC? How was that like kind of getting that to work out for you?
It's super interesting in that, like, I moved out here potentially to play music and then sort of got involved with Gethard Show and with, like, the UCB in, like by accident. And LLC is, like, such a weird mix of the two because literally everyone in the LLC has been in a bunch of punk bands and played, like, just countless shows and, like, you know, they're all, like, seasoned musicians, and, like, they're very good at what they do. I often go into practice and, like, don't even really do much of the writing so much as I'm just a workhorse for chords and shit like that. But it's been really great, man. I mean, like, I'm still getting to contribute to the show, and I'm still getting to have, like, vaguely comedic moments, but I'm also contributing musically, which is something that I, like, you know, have a little bit more foundation in and I'm a little more comfortable with. I don't know, it's been kind of a breeze. It's been really awesome.
Yeah, with Hallie being in the Unlovables, and also with, like, Mikey Erg there with the Ergs, and what's that like kind of playing with them, because they're seasoned musicians with the Ergs having the discography that they have. What's it like playing with Mikey Erg?
It's really awesome. I would say that, like, I wasn't even aware of, like, the Unlovables or the Ergs or Lost Soccer Combo or any of those bands until I started hanging out with the LLC and learning about it. But I will say that, like, when we went to San Francisco and did
the Sketchfest, yeah.
Like, kids would literally come up to me and be like, what's it like to be in a band with Mikey Erg? And that's when I realized, oh, like, this is, like, a thing.
Yeah,
like,
you may have made it at that point.
Yeah, you know? But it's really awesome. I mean, watching Hallie write songs, it's insane. She's so talented at just writing catchy hooks and like well-structured songs. And Mikey is just like, he never breaks a sweat, you know what I mean? We can give him anything and he just rolls with it. And it's also cool to hear them talk about sort of the early 2000s era New York pop punk scene, because like literally all of them were in bands and were in that scene, so they just have like endless amounts of stories and bands that I need to listen to. It seems like they all went to like punk rock high school, and I'm really jealous because like I just wish I had been there for that scene. It seems like so much fun, you know.
Now, as the scene in comparison to New York, the music scene, what do you say is the difference between the scene that you grew up in and the scene that is going on in New York right now? Is the sound different, or?
Oh, I mean, it's totally different, but that's because, like, I grew up in, like, a suburb of the San Francisco Bay Area, you know? And there was, like a pop-punk scene when I was coming up, and I was, like, you know, 13, 14, and, like, just getting into, like, the Misfits and having been a huge Blink-182 fan for much of my early days.
Yeah.
And there were good bands. There was a band in particular called Hidden Pocket, which you might be able to find on the internet. I have no idea. And they had an EP called Your Mom's on the Phone.
Okay.
And it was fucking great. Like, I knew the drummer really well. He's an old friend of mine. His name's Marcelo, and he drummed exactly like Travis Barker, and it just had that sound, you know, it had that early pop punk sound. And there are tons of bands like that in the Bay Area. They would play like such shitball venues. Like, I went to one that was like in a trophy hall for like a tennis association or something like that. And it was a fucking good show, man. And there's the Cactus Club in San Jose, which was legendary. I don't think it's there anymore.
I feel like I've heard of that place, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah. I went there. And, like, San Jose is pretty cool, man. Some good bands have come out of San Jose. Sleep was from San Jose. Like, there's definitely a scene, but it's not like a city at all. Like, when I moved here in 2011 and I started going to a lot of shows at, like, Glasslands in Brooklyn and 285 Kent, like, it was just clear to me that there were just, like, so many bands. And, like, for every genre or every, like, subgenre or every weird mashup idea of like, what if we played like punk rock but dressed like chefs or something, like there was just somebody was doing it, you know what I mean? Like, for every idea that you had, there was a band that was like already doing it.
Well, Jake is actually a musician in Pittsburgh. He has a band here too. So
that's really awesome. What's your band called?
They're called The Seams. Nice. I don't know what episode they're on, but we're on. But we played at the end of one of them. But besides,
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. But besides that, are you doing like a solo project? Are you working with a band besides the LLC, or is that taking up? Oh, go ahead.
I think playing with the LLC made me realize like how much I just want to be in a punk band. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like, quite honestly, LLC is like the first time I've ever gotten to like play punk rock seriously and like in a band. And it's like, you know, we all play acoustic guitars and stuff, but it's still pretty punky, I guess, in its approach. And just hearing them tell all their stories of, like, how much fun they had, and I don't know, it's just like, holy shit, I want to be in a punk band really bad. So I've got that on my mind. I've been writing a lot of
that's what you mentioned to me this
half
morning.
songs.
Or was it last night? You were saying that you were writing a lot.
Yeah. Like, my phone is just full of, like, 2-minute clips of like half songs, and like invariably they're just rip-offs of whatever band I was listening to that day. Like, I wrote a song 2 days ago that literally, if you put it next to a Ty Segall song, they would almost match exactly. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. Imitation's the best form of flattery. I mean,
yeah, it's also a really good way to get yourself creating if you're like a person that's a little bit too shy or a little bit too critical of their own work. I think a really good exercise is to like come up with an artist that you like and try to parody them as hard as you can. Like, try to really figure out what is this person's style and try to write a song. Yeah, and then you'll try to write a song in your head being like, oh, this is a joke, this is an exercise, and then what comes out is usually like it's kind of its own thing, you know? It's not quite that person's work, and then you actually have something to spring off. So I do that a lot, aka I rip off people a lot.
And talking about that too, I know that we had in the past, we kind of threw some bands at one another is we wanted to check out. What are some of your favorite albums of 2014? Now, the reason why I asked that, we actually had an email a couple weeks ago asking us our favorite records that came out so far this year. So I want to see what you've been listening to.
Oh man, this is a great question. It's a really good question. It's gonna make me feel like such a dick because I used to be so on top of it with this sort of shit. You know what I mean? I would have
Well,
my
you're a
top
busy
10.
dude nowadays too.
Yeah, I fucking am doing so much improv shit that like my music listening to and going to shows game is just like died real hard. So like I'd be hard pressed to even figure out. Oh, okay. So
well, you could just say
yeah,
you could
I
say
know
some bands that maybe not even from this year, but something you've been listening to lately.
Yeah. Well, the OCs is like one of my favorite bands on the planet. I love them. Their new record just came out that I avoided saying just dropped because it's called Drop.
Okay.
I didn't want to sound like an asshole. But Drop by OCs is really, really good. It's sort of a departure from their punky sound, and it's a little more slow-paced, and they're just getting weirder with their stuff, and that's awesome. And John Dwyer cut a solo record as well under the name, I think, Damaged Bug or something like that.
Okay.
But that's really good, too. It's like... It sounds like something that like he would do in his bedroom, which is how OC started in the beginning. That's really good.
I think we were talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were talking about Violent Bullshit. You were really into them for a
Yes,
bit.
I like Violent Bullshit a lot, and I do think they have a new record out that I haven't heard. But Adult Problems by Violent Bullshit is great.
They're from Brooklyn? Are they from Brooklyn?
They are, I
Okay.
believe. I think the lead singer, I saw him working in like an old record or bookstore or some shit in Greenpoint. I was walking to Chris's house to film or record something or some bullshit, and I saw him, and I was like, oh shit, that's Jay Green from Violent Bullshit. But I didn't want to go talk to him because I was like holding a guitar with like stickers on it. I don't know, I just would have felt like a dick. Like.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of those times too, like I come across people, and I'm easily starstruck, definitely. If I come across somebody that I looked up to in some fashion, I'm just like, I totally want to say this, but it's just like, everyone does. Like,
I can second
wants
that.
to say that.
Todd and I have gone to shows, and the artist or group has been there, maybe like in the hallway by the merch table, and I'm like, Todd, you really dig these guys? You want to go up and say, hey? He's like, nope.
Yeah.
And I get, I can agree with it, but sometimes I'd be like, just go up and say, hey. But Todd will just.
I don't have anything to say. What
way.
am I going to... I'm not a musician myself. I'm more so a fan. So it's just like, what am I going to say? Like, that thing you do, I really like that. And it's just like, who
But they're
cares?
just people.
Who
They're
cares?
just guys or girls. They're just people like you and me.
We've went to some shows together in the past, and I'm like one of those people that likes to be up front and pretty close.
Yeah.
And I let Jake stand in front of me one time at the show, and I could tell that he wasn't committed to it. Like, he wasn't committed to the bit, and like, he just slowly started to trail backwards, and I was just like, all right, bro, we've got to switch. Because I just wanted to let him in front of me, but then I had to pull the plug on it because he was just not about it.
And my dog.
Well, what was the bit, though? Why was him standing in front of you such a thing?
Well, he was...
I'm like a 3 or 4 rows back kind of guy. And Todd is like, if I'm not leaning on the banister, why even go? Kind of guy.
Yeah.
So, and I just don't care. Like, you go to a movie theater, and some people like to sit immediately in front, and some people don't care. And I'm maybe 3 rows back, and Todd is just like, if I'm not elbows on the banister, why pay for the ticket? Why pay for the ticket? So
Yeah.
I was sliding back, and some guy that looked like me, my doppelganger, was trying to slide into the position, and Todd was just livid. He was so upset about it. Almost ruined the show. No, I don't know. But
That's so adorable.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I will
Thank you
say
for thinking that was adorable. I appreciate
No,
it.
it is. That is adorable, 100%. I will say that when I was like really music nerdy, I was like that too. Like if I wasn't front row center, this is bullshit. I was entitled to that spot. But nowadays, I don't know. It sounds better from the back. You know what I mean? So your choices are go up front and have a better time, or go back and hear a better show. You know what I mean? It's like a double-edged sword.
And so now you've done some work with the LLC. Do you think that you said it kind of helped you with the writing process? You have a lot of stuff on your phone. Will we ever hear an Alex album or an Alex fronted band?
Yeah, I really hope so. I like have all the equipment that I need to like record a really lo-fi record if I wanted to do it. Like I have this old Tascam like 4-track that records to cassette and sounds really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it sounds really awesome. Like it makes all of your shitty ideas suddenly good ideas just because it sounds good all of a sudden. But yeah, I really hope so. Seeing Hallie and Mikey, and John and Bill just like crank out songs like it's nothing, like it sort of gives me the attitude of like, well, fuck it, it's not a big deal. I don't have to write like a masterpiece. It's just more about like
just do it.
Yeah, just having the balls to do shit, which I think is like the most important thing. Like if you want to be an artist of any kind, like it doesn't matter if you're naturally talented. If you have the balls to do shit in front of people, you're like so ahead of the game, you know?
Amen to that. So it seems like you're pretty comfortable with behind a guitar. Now, I know that you've been doing some improv stuff where you don't have a guitar, it's just you, and you have a couple improv teams, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm on a few right now.
You have a show tonight at midnight?
I do. I'm starting up a new a show with a couple of my improv friends called the Low Confidence Midnight Hour. And
Gibberish, is that correct?
Yeah, the team name is called Gibberish. I was not consulted on the team name, but it's whatever. who gives a fuck? But yeah, the idea of the show is that like improv is the thing that you tend to like always be frustrated and then maybe be happy with your improv for like a week or two, and then it's back to frustration. So we just wanted to make a show where like people can come and just like not feel like they have to stress out about being good in front of their peers, you know? Like I don't know. I certainly love the shows where I can go and just have fun with my friends and create like a weird, silly world and not really have to feel like I need to do like good, functional improv. So hopefully we can create that sort of atmosphere.
And that's the thing. If you have that comfortable atmosphere, everyone's more comfortable and maybe put on a better show.
Yeah, I'd say you do your best work when you're not stressed out about being good. You know, with improv, it's like every time you step up and you're like, all right, man, I'm gonna really fucking kill it tonight, you just freeze and don't do anything, you know? Whereas if you just like have 1 or 2 beers and dick around with your friends and then go on stage and make whatever you felt like making, like it's either a good show or at least
memorable
funner to watch.
More memorable.
It's funner to watch idiots confidently making something than watching idiots scaredly making something. You know what I mean? So,
and that's kind of what we do with this podcast, because I am not confident about it doing very well. We actually to set this up. I had Jake here come a little early, and to test out what we're kind of doing, I actually went in a busted ass upstairs bathroom of mine. And we went over Skype to like practice recording it, and like this is what we're gonna have to do. I hope it works. So no way did I come into this confident.
We still don't know if it's gonna work.
We still don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah, that's true. It's currently all my shit's running just fine, so hopefully it'll work out.
Well, if it doesn't work, everyone, you know it's our fault.
Yeah.
Not Alex's, so that's great.
I'll take some of the blame.
Okay, that's fair.
That's sweet. So one more thing, and I was watching the Gethard Show, and you were on, and I forget what episode it was, but someone had put you up to actually revealing what's in your messenger bag.
Yeah.
And I forget everything that was in there, except you had, like, the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. I forget which one.
Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, no, I thought you had a Tolkien book in there.
No,
I don't remember.
I've tried to read that, but honestly,
Thrones?
Yeah.
Like, oh god, I'm trying to come up with like a good music analogy, but like, if Tolkien is like Captain Beefheart, then I would say that like,
What the hell are you saying? I don't know what that
if
means.
Tolkien is Captain Beefheart, then I would say Song of Ice and Fire is like Tom Waits. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can take the time to get into Beefheart if you really want to, but like, Tom Waits is just gonna be
Dude,
like
I could
one
have a whole
easier
podcast about that. I could have a whole podcast where we just talk about Tom Waits if you want to
Dude,
do that.
You know, we could
I
name
think
it-
we just started a podcast. I think
We could call it Rain Dogs.
I was gonna say, come on up to the house.
Come on up to the house.
I would say it should be called Please Call Me Baby, and we could take calls and stuff.
Dude,
yeah.
and
A
see,
dusty groove.
see, that's
Anyway.
why you're a professional there, because you thought of that right on the fly to harken back to improv. That was improv at its finest right there.
But we're thinking about.
I wrote that down earlier.
So,
Well, we're thinking about going to New York City maybe this summer.
yeah, I've been
Do it.
trying to
happen.
get him to go up to New York with me, and I'm hoping that TCGS is still taping come July, and everything is, as you know, for the Comedy Central, they passed on it. So I hope that everything's still going by July. I don't know if you have any scoops for us that you're allowed to reveal.
I don't know anything,
Yeah.
but then I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of it just comes down to like Chris and how he's feeling about it. And he sent, right when Comedy Central passed, he sent out an email to everybody that works on the show and that was involved with the pilot that just sort of broke it down. And honestly, it was like such an inspiring email. He didn't seem crushed by it at all. The opposite, he seemed like inspired to get out there.
Well, that's good.
So I think we'll probably be around for at least a little bit. I think you guys should be able to come to this show just because everybody working on it seems like it seems like this just puts some fire under our ass to like go out there and like commit even harder to making good weird shit. So I think you'll be fine.
And on our show, to kind of close everything off here, something that we do on our show is called Knicks or Dicks, and we wanted to play that with you. And
Okay.
what it is, I actually have it, and I'm going to tilt my laptop away from Jake so he can't see this, because we're actually going to put you versus Jake, but you'll be playing for me. So if you win, I win.
Okay.
And if Jake wins, Jake wins. And
Okay.
the idea behind the game is I'll read a name, and they're either a male porn star or they're a
Okay.
former or current player of the basketball team, the New York Knicks.
Got it.
So I
Okay.
read a name, and there's gonna be 10. I think I have. I'm gonna read a name, and then you could say Knicks or Dicks, and we'll go from that. Are you a basketball fan? Do you know anything about basketball?
I know nothing
Perfect.
about basketball.
Neither do I.
Do you know anything about porn?
Yes, I am an avid watcher.
Okay, then you might have you might beat Jake here. But actually, and I'm trying to pump you up because like you're my boxer right now, and I'm your trainer. I'm like, you got to get him. You got to go. Get him with a low blow if you need to.
All right, cool.
Because the loser of this, and a buddy of ours that's here with us in the back, Mike, he Googled on his phone, I think you did,
Horrible punishments.
horrible punishments, and I guess if you eat 2 bananas and then have Sprite, you'll throw up or something like
Oh
that.
my god.
So for next week's episode, the loser of this game is going to have to eat 2 whole bananas and then drink Sprite until they throw up.
Okay, I am more nervous about this now.
Okay,
All right.
so no pressure, but a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, you can't look at my screen, Jake. Don't be
Alright.
looking at it. I don't. Okay.
It just looks like dust from here.
The laptop is that far away that it looks like dust.
Nah, that's the angle. You can spin it more.
There you go. Okay.
Wait,
so,
are we gonna do this at the same time and both answer? Because I don't think that'll work.
Well, I would say that like we would both have to give our answer. And,
Yeah, because
Okay.
like
reveals who's correct.
right,
Okay,
right.
alright, that's
okay.
fair.
So the first name on the list, and Jake, keep a tally. keep
All
a
right,
tally.
hold on. Let me get
So
the...
put-
Wait, why does he's in the game?
Well, I'm right in front of
Fucking
him.
Weirdo.
I can't.
He wants me to win. That's all. He's just passionate. He wants me to win. So don't fuck this up for all of us, Jake.
I'm gonna.
So more pressure on him.
All
I'm just
right.
trying to make him feel bad right before we start, so his confidence is low.
Great.
So the first name, Butch Carter.
Oh shit, that could go either way.
I'm gonna go. Jake, you first. We'll switch off. Jake, answer first to this one.
Butch Carter, Knicks.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Knicks as well.
Correct. Knicks. 1 point each.
Nice.
Or no points.
No, 1 point.
Okay.
1 point each. How do you get no points for getting
Because
something
it's
right?
the
you
first
ever
person
played
to
a game
10.
before,
It's
Jake?
the first person to 10. So if one of us
It's not
gets
the
it-
first person to 10. I'm reading 10 names, and whoever has the most points wins.
Okay. All right.
Second name on the list. So Alex, you have to answer first here. Rory Sparrow.
Ooh. I'm gonna go Dix.
I'd say Dix.
Incorrect, both of you. That is a New York Knicks player. So score is still tied at 1.
Got us with that silly
Corey
ass last
Sparrow?
name.
Yeah.
Sparrow.
Rory Sparrow. The third name on the list, Ernie Grunfeld.
Is it me?
I think Jake, you're first. Ernie Grunfeld.
I'm going Knicks.
That's gotta be Knicks.
Knicks, both of you, correct. 2 points. 2
Alright.
points.
No porn star would ever not change their last name if it was Grun.
Grunfeld.
Ernie Grunfeld. Name number 4, Evan Seinfeld. Evan Seinfeld.
Okay.
You're up, Alex.
Dix.
Okay, Jake.
I'll go Knicks.
The correct answer is Dix.
Oh,
Point for Alex.
Alex. It's
Nice,
3-2.
nice.
3-2.
Alex up. You're 3-2. Okay.
By the way, my roommate just started playing the drums, so sorry if that shows up in my audio.
No,
think you're good.
It can. It may enhance it. It may enhance it.
It's the soundtrack to my inevitable victory.
Yes. Name number 5, Michael Stefano.
Oh fuck.
I'm going Dix again. I can hear the drum.
Wait, did Jake already answer?
Yeah, he said Dix.
Okay, I'm gonna go Knicks.
The correct answer is Dix. It's tied up.
3-3.
3-3. 3-3. We're going into the 6th name right now. Chris McNeely. Now, is he a point guard or a guy that's into butt
Or a
stuff?
circumcised guy.
Because the two are mutually exclusive.
Is he?
There are only uncut point guards in the NBA.
If you're circumcised, yeah, I don't know if you could be a point guard.
Nope,
I think
there's
that's
too much
part of
weight.
it. There's too much weight.
Johnny, I'm sorry. We circumcised you at birth. You'll never play point guard.
You're a power forward.
We're gonna have to cut you from the team.
So Chris.
Oh, hold on, wait.
I got it
Todd
in
just
there.
ripped our earphones out of our ears. Thanks, Todd.
Okay, so Chris McNeely. I think Alex. Are you up
Yeah.
first? Alex, you're up first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Knicks.
Chris McNeely. I gotta go Knicks on this one.
The
McNeely.
correct answer: Knicks.
Nice.
4 points apiece, I believe.
We might have to extend this, but go ahead.
Jamie Gillis. Jamie Gillis.
Just for the sake of it, a Jamie sounds like Dix. I'm going Dix.
I agree. Jamie sounds like Dix all the way.
The correct answer: Dix.
5-5.
5-5, going into the 8th name here.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. Bob Thornton. Now, is he like a big white center from Wisconsin? Under the hoop?
or a big white dick.
From Wisconsin, who's also in the center. Bob Thornton.
Is it my go or is it Jake's go?
I think it's your go, Alex. I think.
I'm gonna go. That's Knicks. It's gotta be Knicks.
I'm going Dix. Bob Thornton Dix.
The answer? the New York Knicks.
Boom, motherfucker!
That's going up.
Alex,
Yes.
6-5. All right, bro. There's 2 names left. We're winning so far. I want to see Jake eat bananas and throw up. So,
Mathematically, if I get this one correct and he fails,
Yep.
it's
automatic.
Dunzo.
you're donezo. Okay.
You are Dunzo.
Glenn Meadows.
Okay.
Glenn Meadows. Now, is that the coach's son who's a backup shooting guard? Or is that
Or
the
is
coach's
that
son
the coach's
banging a
favorite
cheerleader
player?
in a porn?
Yeah.
Is it me?
Jake, you're up. Glenn Meadows.
Glenn Meadows, Knicks, New York Knicks.
Knicks, I agree.
The answer is Dicks.
I could have tied it up.
So,
I could either tie it up and we go overtime, or I lose
So-
in this one.
Jake either ties it up.
It's 6-5.
Jake either ties it up and we have to have an overtime name, or he just straight up loses. So we have the advantage, Alex.
This is good. It's a good position to be in.
Yes. Name number 10. Trent Tucker. Trent Tucker.
Oh my god, that could go either way. Oh no.
For all we know, maybe he does go
Tucker.
either way.
Tucker. Wait, what did I just miss? The good one.
No, you just said that could go either way, and Jake just said we don't know, he may go either way, like Trent Tucker.
Trent. Well, Tucker rhymes with fucker. I don't know
It
if that
does.
should inform my decision.
But also, there are people named Tucker, and I don't think their parents thought that, like, well, you know what, dear, if we name our son Tucker, it will rhyme with fucker.
He's got to be a porn star. There's no other way. We got to go with your last name, sweets.
Trent Tucker.
Trent.
Jake, are you first, or who's first on this one?
I think it's me.
Okay.
I think it's me. Trent Tucker. You know what? I'm in New York City. I think it's got to be a Nick. Trent Tucker's a Nick.
See, that's what I thought. I'm going, well, for the sake of just being different, hopefully tying it up or just going overtime, I'll go Dicks, Trent Tucker.
Trent Tucker. So Alex has a Nick, and you have a Dick, Jake.
Wait.
They are the final answer is the New York Knicks. Alex wins, baby.
All right.
Alex taking it home tonight for Team Todd. So Jake will have to
Yeah, we get it. We heard it already. We can move on.
eat 2 bananas in Sprite next week until he throws up. So
Well, good game, Jake. You were a very evenly matched competitor.
It was a close one.
he's
It's a close one.
extend a handshake, Jake. Just
I'm doing
put
it. I'm doing it.
I'm shaking the air. I'm shaking
Okay,
the air.
perfect. Just because of your presence, I will probably see one of my best friends throw up next week.
I'm glad to make that happen for you, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, I'll come back anytime and keep fucking making the show. It's really cool, and it's really awesome that you guys are making
I appreciate
art for
that.
the fuck of it, man. That's awesome.
I
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
that.
All right, Alex. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, man. We'll catch up with you later. You take care.
Yeah, you have a good one, guys.
All right. All right. So, how do you think that went, Jake?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah?
I like him.
Yeah. You
Hopefully,
like him?
I'd like to maybe try to hang out with him in New York City if we can.
Mm-hmm. I think that if the Gethard Show is still going in July, also Mike, his band has a few shows up in New York. What's Friday and Saturday or something?
All right, we'll schedule that the same week then.
Mm-hmm. So
Maybe hang out with Ryan.
yeah.
That'd be
Why did
sick.
you laugh after that?
Because who knows? Ryan seems so busy all the time. I don't know what he's doing.
Hang out with Ryan, but maybe I want to do a Wednesday through Sunday. I
Okay.
know you want to do.
I will
less time.
obviously say Wednesday through Saturday, but
Saturday morning. The earliest.
That's the first mega bus out of there.
Okay. Well, there's Megabuses 24 hours, so you may even be able to leave directly
I'll just
after
leave
the
without
show.
you. That'd be
That's
nice
fine.
because I'll probably be sick of you by then anyway.
Good call. We were only with each other in DC for 3 days,
And that was fine. That was
and
a
I
good
was
time.
sick of me.
Yeah, DC influenza. You were.
What's that? Episode 5.
I don't know, but you are in bad sorts.
Mm-hmm.
You're
So
all hopped up
hopefully-
on crazy stuff. But I'd like to make that happen.
Okay. Well, we'll make for the end of July. Is that your kid hits the road to New York? We'll tape from New York.
All right, we'll start planning it.
Maybe get Alex.
Get my dates in order because I'm not good at that.
Okay.
I'll make sure my schedule is.
My schedule, I'm sure, will be nothing going on. I mean, work, but I'll just submit a request for him.
I'm bummed out that now I have to throw up next week.
Yeah, you might have to throw up next week.
I'll do it.
2 bananas. Eat 2 bananas and a Sprite.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people that are scared to throw up. If I don't feel good, I know that throwing up might make me feel better, so I just go for it.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna feel sick. I think you won't have a choice.
Involuntarily,
I'd be like, oh, done. Ow.
Just kind of get it over with.
Your mouth will sound like a vacuum cleaner. Yeah. In that little hole.
Hopefully, we'll pick it up on the mic well.
No, I'm
splashing.
I won't have it. I will mic up. I will mic up the puke bucket with both mics.
Alright, sick.
Like on either.
Make that puke robot-y.
Mm-hmm. Bro.
Just...
If I do that with you next week,
yeah,
that Sprite will be the first soda I had in over a month. Over a month.
That's good, and you should be commended because you have like hundreds and hundreds of grams of sugar that aren't in your system anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll say I'm cutting back enormously.
Are you taking my influence? And
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Tito's Vodka, we talked about the first half of the episode, so we're gonna go out on some open ideas to pitch to Tito's.
Mike's favorite vodka.
Mike Slobodian's favorite vodka. Tito's Vodka. Distilled 6 times, never 7. It could go head-to-head with any of the world's greatest, and you won't even break a sweat, probably.
What? And let it be said that Tito's Vodka is much cheaper than any of the top-shelf vodkas.
Don't say that.
No, it's less expensive.
Well, it's less...
In terms of quality, it's distilled 6 times. What are you going to do? But
never 7.
A lot less expensive, but the quality's still there.
Yeah. Tito's Vodka. According to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of risk of birth defects.
Good one.
Also made with corn.
Also might be the only vodka that we know of.
Tito's.
Made with corn.
Made with corn, no sugar or gelatin added. Tito's, made with corn, shake once from freezer. It's in the bottle, so enjoy. All the corn's in the bottle. It's all grounded up. Tito's Vodka. Corn raised in Texas. Corn shipped to Pennsylvania. And vodka.
What?
Tito's Corn Vodka. Award-winning distilled homemade corn vodka.
Good bums.
Drink up.
We are in fact sponsored by Tito's Vodka.
This episode is sponsored by Tito's Vodka. Thank you, Tito's, for all the hard work you've done in making me really drunk last night. That I beat Mike and Madden by 1 point.
Oh, he's bringing up Madden rivalries.
I think I also talked
How many
to my
fake
sister.
guys did you have on your team?
No, these were all real.
Whoa, they played with
guys.
real fake guys. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
But you can hit us up, as always, at isthatyourkid on Twitter. Isthatyourkid at yahoo.com for emails. Thank you for all the emails. We've got a bunch of them this week, so that's why I summed them up. Also, Lulu making a comeback. Our West Coast time reporter, West Coast time traveling reporter emailed in and said Netflix streaming just got that much more haunted, and then she just posted a list of things that were added that are about ghosts on Netflix.
Haunted Netflix.
You could also find us on Tumblr. Isthatyourkid.tumblr.com. Isthatyourkid at yahoo.com for emails. Isthatyourkid on Twitter. Missing one. Isthatyourkid.podomatic.com. That is our hub. From our hub, you will find out that we were on iTunes. So if you like this episode, subscribe, rate, share, review. Tell your one friend to tell another friend to listen to at least half of the episodes and bail out on the end like Steve from Pittsburgh did that one time. Steve, you're still with us, hopefully. Anyway, as per usual, I'll let Jake send this out. Thank you again to Alex Clute, our buddy. Go for it, Jake.
Thank you again to Alex Clute, my new buddy. Tito's Vodka, Twitter, Podomatic.
All those websites are great.
Did we say youtube.com?
No!
/ Is that your kid?
I just really blew up this mic when I said no.
Well, it's real loud.
YouTube.com / Is That Your Kid with our buddy Sleazy E. Listen to his grandparents banging.
Knocking boots. Well, I'll send it out. Thanks for listening. Go out there and get as much sun as I did today. Is that your kid?
Is that
Ernie Grunfeld.
your kid?